Hi, it's Katrina. My friend David is going to be helping me out with the voiceover today, so I hope you enjoy.
Number 10. The Pope and the Mobster. Anthony Raimondi, known as the enforcer for his time as a mafia hitman, recently claimed that he helped murder a pope to keep some of his friends out of hell. According to the New York Post, Anthony admitted to being one of the hitmen who murdered John Paul I in Italy in 1978. Just 33 days after John Paul I became pope, Anthony allegedly helped feed him a cyanide capsule that ended his life. Unfortunately, there's no way to prove how much of this story is true. We know that in 1978, the unexpected death of John Paul shocked the world. He was pope for just over a month before dying inexplicably. The official cause of death was heart attack, but nobody at the time believed it. Conspiracy theories began circulating immediately that the pope had secretly been assassinated. If Anthony really is telling the truth, the mafia hitman was responsible for the killing. Anthony claims he was hired by his cousin, Cardinal Paul Marcinkus, who controlled the Vatican Bank. Anthony says the cyanide was used so that he and his hitman buddies could kill the Pope without physically being in the room, which they believed would spare them a trip to hell in the afterlife. And apparently they killed Pope John Paul I because of a stock fraud run by insiders at the Vatican. The Pope had already threatened to expose the fraud, and so powerful men in the church reached out to American mobsters to silence him for good. Number 9. The Gospel of Satan. There's a black magic grimoire that's allegedly kept in the Vatican's secret archives, which has the power to put a person into contact with the devil. Its official name is the Grand Grimoire, but it's been called the Gospel of Satan, the Red Dragon, and other things as well. The book is filled with satanic imagery and was supposedly written in either the 1520s or the 1420s. Nobody has any idea who wrote it, but a lot of authors have been attributed with some of its sections. The introduction was supposedly written by a mysterious man named Antonio Venetiana del Rabina. Some of the writing even came from King Solomon 3,000 years ago. The contents of the book are frightening, to say the least. It's divided into two main sections, with the first containing instructions on how to summon a demon and how to then force it to do your bidding. The second major section in the book is all about making a pact with a demon, which is supposedly a lot easier than simply summoning it and then telling it what to do. And as if that wasn't enough, the book gives some useful instructions on how to win the lottery and how to make a girl fall in love with you. It also teaches how to turn invisible and how to practice necromancy. It's unclear if any of the spells in the book really work, but supposedly the Vatican keeps a copy for themselves stashed in a secret part of their legendary archives. Number 8. The New World Order. The Vatican is at the top of the New World Order conspiracy theory. You might have heard the term thrown around before, but let's do a full breakdown of what the New World Order supposedly is and how the Vatican fits into it. The New World Order is a secret group of elitists who have a global agenda to rule the world through a single government. That global government will obliterate sovereign nations and states, ruling over the entire world as one entity. Many believe the New World Order is the natural progression of human history. We started out in small tribes and have since progressed into various nations consisting of billions of people. The obvious next step is a single world united under one power. But as we've learned through history, ultimate power never ends well. The group of secret elites have supposedly been trying to put together their new order for centuries, and the Vatican is at the tip of the pyramid. The issue is that they've never been able to put all the pieces together to rule everything at once. It's an ongoing plot to achieve world domination, something the Catholic Church almost succeeded in doing during the medieval ages. Some Catholics even think the victory of the New World Order will signal the apocalypse. They even interpreted the biblical end of days as the rise of the New World Order, led by the Antichrist after corrupting the Vatican. Number 7. Secret Giants. The Vatican is allegedly covering up the existence of giants. Throughout the course of human history, almost every ancient society told stories of giants. The Greeks believed in a land of giants, the Aztecs believed in giants, and even the Bible contained stories of giants called the Nephilim. Native Americans had giants in their legends, and early explorers in South America allegedly witnessed giant humans with their own eyes. The hard truth is that no matter where you look, people have always believed in the existence of giants. According to conspiracy theorists, the Vatican and the Smithsonian have been covering up evidence of the ancient behemoths for years. The Vatican is supposedly working with the Smithsonian to obscure the truth behind giant human skeletons. These skeletons have allegedly been found in North America, Ecuador, and even Europe. Huge humanoid bones were rumored to have been uncovered in the Ozarks. Skeletons of 12-foot, 3.7 meters tall men were found in a cave in Mexico. And there was even a graveyard of giants that was discovered in China. But the giant bones, not long after being found, suddenly vanished. Some say that's because the Vatican ordered the Smithsonian to help obtain, then destroy the giants to get rid of the evidence. Keep in mind, we have no real evidence of a conspiracy. There's no evidence of the giant human skeletons found in Ohio, nor is there proof of the ones found in Mexico. If the Vatican really is trying to cover up the prehistoric existence of a race of giant beings, nobody can say why they're doing it. Number 6. Vatican Girl. Emanuela Orlandi went missing in Vatican City in 1983 and has never been found. In early 2023, the Vatican opened yet another investigation into the missing girl. But just who is Emanuela and what happened to her? She was the daughter of a Vatican employee named Ercole Orlandi. He was an envoy of the prefecture of the Pontifical House, and he lived with his young daughter in Vatican City State. On June 22, 1983, 15-year-old Emanuela left a music lesson in Rome, but she never made it home. In 2019, members of the girl's family received information that her remains were buried in a cemetery on Vatican property. The family requested that the Vatican investigate, and so they opened a pair of tombs. Inside they found thousands of mysterious bones, but none of them belonged to the missing child. Scientific analysis of the bones revealed them to be ancient, perhaps belonging to other missing people from centuries ago. Sadly, the question remains, what happened to Emanuela Orlandi? One of the biggest conspiracy theories is that she was assassinated by agents from the Vatican. Orlandi allegedly confided in someone that she'd been abused by an individual very close to the Pope. To prevent the accusations from bringing even more shame upon the Vatican, the teenager was secretly kidnapped and was subsequently murdered. They then disposed of her remains in an unknown location. We don't have any proof of this, but it's one of the most popular conspiracy theories involving her disappearance. What do you think truly happened to Emanuela Orlandi? Do you truly think the Vatican was involved in her disappearance? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Number 5. Jewish treasure. There's a conspiracy theory that claims there's a secret stash of Jewish treasure hidden inside the walls of the Vatican. The treasure was apparently robbed from the Holy Land centuries ago. It was allegedly stolen from the Second Temple in Jerusalem, and all these years later, the Catholic Church still refuses to give it back. The conspiracy dates back to the year 70 AD, when the Roman army, led by General Titus, pillaged the Holy City, destroying the Second Temple and burning Jerusalem to the ground in the process. One of the artifacts stolen was a candelabra that was allegedly put in the First Temple by King Solomon himself 1,000 years earlier. That would make it one of the oldest Jewish relics ever, and it was swiped by Roman soldiers. The candelabra supposedly made its way back to Rome and eventually wound up as a treasure hidden inside the Vatican vaults, and now the Pope refuses to give it back. This conspiracy theory isn't even as crazy as it might sound. In 1996, Shimon Satrit, the Israeli Minister of Religious Affairs, asked the Vatican to help find the lost treasures. 10 years later, the Israel Antiquities Authority sent a team of experts into the Vatican to search their storerooms. They didn't find any Jewish treasure, but that doesn't mean it isn't hidden somewhere else. Number 4. The Freemason Pope. In 1738, the Catholic Church officially prohibited all Catholics on earth from becoming members of secret societies. One of those societies included the Masonic Order, otherwise known as the Freemasons. Over the past 300 years, multiple popes have publicly discussed the incompatibility of being Catholic and Freemason at the same time. Up until 1983, any practicing Catholic caught publicly supporting a Masonic organization was automatically excommunicated. The Declaration of Masonic Associations from 1983 states that any Catholic who enrolls in a Masonic association is committing a grave sin and is unable to receive Holy Communion. Based on this, it seems pretty clear the Catholic Church hates Freemasons. But why is it such a big deal? And are the rumors that claim Pope Paul VI was a Freemason true or false? The Catholic Church dislikes Freemasonry because they say it's anti-Catholic. They've claimed repeatedly that Freemasons actively deny the revelation of Christianity. It all started with the Inquisition's investigation of Masonic Lodge in 18th century Florence. The Church hates secrets, and uncovering a vast secret network really rubbed them the wrong way. Pope Clement XII wrote that the Freemasons were content with natural virtue and ripe with the taint of evil. But some say the Freemasons have been in the church the whole time. Pope Paul VI was allegedly a Freemason. The secret society supposedly infiltrated so much of the church that they were responsible for the recent change of attitude that allowed Catholics to join certain groups of Freemasons. Number 3. The third secret. 3 Portuguese shepherds were visited by the Virgin Mary in 1917. Lucia Santos, Jacinta Marto, and Francisca Marto collectively saw an apparition of Mary 6 times that year. The alleged apparition became known as Our Lady of Fatima, and she supposedly entrusted the 3 young children with a trio of secrets. Those secrets were written down and kept hidden until 2 of them were revealed by Lucia in 1941. The first vision given to the young shepherds showed them souls being tortured in hell. It seemed to be a warning of what would happen to the humans of Earth if they continued down their sinful path. The second vision was of a great and terrible war, the result of a separation from God. This was supposedly meant to be a representation of World War II. The third secret was kept sealed in an envelope and wasn't opened until 1960. Even after it was opened, the Vatican kept the secret hidden until the year 2000. Only then did Pope John Paul II reveal the third vision to be the mass persecution of Christians. The 3 young shepherds were shown the persecution of Christians in the 21st century, just like when they were persecuted by the Romans 2,000 years earlier. But not everyone believes the third secret was revealed. There's a conspiracy theory that says Pope John Paul II lied about the third secret. He may have never revealed it at all. We don't know what the true secret might be, but it could be so devastating that not even the Pope will tell the public. Number 2. The Lucifer Telescope. In recent years, there's been rumors circulating that the Vatican has in its possession a satanic telescope. A conspiracy theory resurfaced on social media about the connection between the Vatican, the devil, and extraterrestrials. The Vatican supposedly owns a telescope named Lucifer, and they're using it to look for aliens in outer space. There's a weird amount of truth to the theory, although it's definitely not what the rumors make it out to be. It's true that there was a telescope called Lucifer, but it never belonged to the Vatican. The Vatican Observatory Research Group, which is based in Arizona, shares their space with other organizations. One of the organizations they share space with briefly nicknamed one of their instruments Lucifer in an attempt to create an acronym. However, they got so much heat for the name that they later changed it to Lucy. Number 1. COVID-19. In 2022, an anti-vaccine documentary was released by a man named Stu Peters. The film was mostly viewed as nonsense by those who watched it, but it did put forth some extremely bizarre conspiracy theories surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the more ridiculous claims in the documentary was that the coronavirus was not a virus at all, but a synthetic snake venom distributed by the Vatican. The film claims that snake venom was synthesized by top Vatican scientists, who then unleashed it upon the world. But why would the Vatican do such a thing? It was supposedly to turn people into demonic hybrids by fundamentally changing their DNA. The conspiracy theory may sound bizarre, but it caught on very quickly. Within just 2 days of the film being released, it had over 640,000 views. For a brief period of time, the topic was trending on Twitter, showing just how many people believed the conspiracy to at least be plausible. But keep in mind, the documentary was created by a far-right radio host with a history for bird-brained theories. What do you think the Vatican is really covering up? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!